Welcome to OG Foundation, capital of the sovereign state of Vlodium. I am your host, Sovereign None of Vlodium. And check it out. You can see my stab wound scar from getting stabbed a couple weeks ago. And let me turn this around. So this week, the main goal is to connect this column with that arch. And what that means first is basically I've got all these straps up there which are pulling the two cattle panels, which are arching off of either side of the column. There's one going that way and there's one going this way, and so I use straps to strap the cattle panel around the column to make it round. And I've already got a bunch in, but I keep moving the straps up to strap it and make it more round. And once it gets up above the level of the lath, it's like getting wide there. And so basically what I have to do is I have to tie in the pieces of metal in the lath section so that it'll stay in place, so that I can remove the two straps that are up in that lath section. And I'll have to cut the lath out because the straps are pinned right now in between the lath and the cattle panel. So I pulled the cattle panel tight, and then I just put the lath right around the strap and everything. So I'll have to cut the strap out and then tie the lath back together after I tie the metal together, so that the tension will be held even after the straps are taken out. After I do that, I'll take this ladder out from there, which it had been propping up that one side of the arch. I don't think I need it anymore. And then I'll set it up to here so that I'll have access to bring the concrete up. And once all the prep is done, the idea is to do a couple batches of concrete today to get the concrete up to the top of the lath at least, with the end goal of getting access up to this arch, so I can arch all the way over to that door at the Molly Stark Tower. So then and then put a wall on the outside, and you'll be able to walk with a crenellated wall on your side up and over that arch, and then eventually down here. So that's where everything's at, and I'll give you an update after I can prep this whole column for the pour. So I finished the prep up there and then did one batch of concrete, and now I'm on to the next batch of concrete, and 2 should be enough to fill up to about the height that I have the lath up there. I'll give you a shot from up there. So I've got another like 8 to 10 inches to add in this batch. Alright, so that's after 2 batches. Got right up to the top here. And now I should be able to just put lath up and connect the arch. So that'll probably be the next task. I don't know if I'll get to it today though, we'll see. This is a good target for completion for today. Turned out well. Come here. Come on over here. Come on. This way. Oh, careful. The boys got to do a bit of hedging up here. So it's Sunday morning, and yesterday I got that lath to connect from the column up to the arch, except for the very top part, which I couldn't tie. And so I'm going to move this ladder to this side, do a couple more minutes of prep, and then see about getting some mortar on that, and then finally get them connected. So I'm about to do a batch of mortar on the new lath, which has like some vertical and some areas where I want it to have lots of fiber. So basic mortar mix is a half bag of the Portland, and you split it by that by putting it over a piece of rebar and then cutting it and lifting the rebar, and it gets it pretty much split in half. And then 3 buckets of sand and enough water. You can see I've already put some of the basalt fiber in. So this is the fiber, which is fiberglass, and I'll put in like, see if I can catch this, like a good amount of this. The previous batch of this I got was like clumpy, but this stuff doesn't seem to get clumpy, so I'm going to add a good bit of that. And then similarly with the basalt fiber, I'm going to add a good like handful of that basically. So that's the start of the mix. And then I'll add the water, sand, and Portland and apply. So it's the end of the day on Sunday. And I got an additional coat on the inside and on the outside of most all of that connection between the column and that arch. And that'll be really solid starting tomorrow. And then I can start thinking about this next big arch. That's all for today. Monday, almost noon, right around noon, did some errands this morning and then ordered a delivery of 1-inch stone, and then just unloaded this crate of cinder blocks and just kind of set them up as a temporary retaining kind of walls for the load of stone. And the idea is eventually I'll mortar this into place and do it more permanently, but hopefully this will work for now, and we'll see how well I did when the stone arrives. So the stone arrived. Maybe they could have gone back a little further and put a bit more weight on the cinder blocks, but I suppose it's better to have less and for them not to fall out than to have too much and they fall over and then it's a big mess. But it definitely was more volume than I expected, and so it overflowed around this corner. Though that corner stayed in place pretty good, I was happy about that. I did end up going around and filling a lot of these cinder blocks with stone all the way down, which made it way more solid. So when I get stone, I'll just pull from this overflow area, and this should work well for the whole next year. And I use this for road maintenance and for the concrete when I do it. And I'll probably just end up kind of shoveling this to be level with the cinder blocks so that leaves don't collect in here. And then if I do that, I could easily tarp it or put some sort of things over it. But that's good. I feel better about stone. Now I just need to get more cattle panels, and then I'm good to go. So it's Tuesday morning, and the idea for today is to pour concrete, or prep this side of this, the inside, because the other side already has the mortar. So to put lath around the inside of this, and then to pour concrete down into it. And yesterday I just did a half bucket of mortar just to get these little holes that I had missed before that I couldn't get from the access point I had because the strap was in there. So I took that strap out, and I wanted to get a good wet smeared coat over the exposed lath and everything, because if I just pour concrete in, it's not guaranteed to be as kind of tight. There can be more air pockets that develop otherwise. So I wanted to do that beforehand, and and then I also put another piece of rebar tied in here, and it's possible I might do one more piece of rebar. I'm not quite sure. And then I've got another idea of what I want to do for this structure of extending it out to the right, this whole arch there. So that might require another piece of rebar here. So I'm just going to prep this with 1 or 2 more pieces of rebar, then the lath around the side, and then I'll be ready for concrete. And I'll give you another shot after prep or once the concrete's going. So by Tuesday evening, I got 2 more batches of concrete up there. Kind of hard to see the angle. It gets wide and kind of narrow. I'll go up there and give you a shot from up there. So you can see the shape of the column up at this height, where it's basically almost a foot wide and 3+ feet long. So it's no longer round, it's shaped into this shape. And I put more rebar in, so there's 2 more pieces of rebar there, I think. One right in the back wall, and then this one going that way, and then there's another piece of rebar here. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this arch out to the direction of that rebar. But I need to get more cattle panels before I can really show you that, so maybe tomorrow. But that's it for today. Got 2 more batches of cement plus the mortar carried all the way up here and slowly pushing this column up. So it's Wednesday afternoon and got some cattle panels. So now 25 cattle panels and you get a bulk deal. And I had gotten 25 cattle panels the first time and did everything that I've done so far using those. So I'm thinking this will be as many as I need to finish for the whole season, just under $900, and be all set for that for the year. Now I can get to shaping the rest of this structure as soon as I can figure out how to unload it. Thursday morning, and today I'm going to be shaping the big arch. Got 4 pieces of rebar to tie in up there and figure out the right bend. And then you can see this cattle panel here. I'm going to start with the cattle panels on the side walls, and eventually I'll get more over here. But first off, I'm shaping that arch over there. So I'm going to get rebar in the middle of the arch, and so safety first. There's the ladder, and going up. So all I gotta do is tie them, and they're pretty good. He's on top of the buttress that I built before building the citadel for the small tower, which is now the chicken coop. Eating back the grapevines. If you listen closely, you can hear it through the grapevine. What did you say, Mr. Inspector? Is it safe for OSHA? OSHA safe? How are you gonna get up there, hon? How did he do that? He's going for it? No, I'm not going for it. Oh, there's some snacking on the job, I see. Hey, get back to work up there. He's like, I am at work, I'm hedging the arch. So I'm doing weird things with rebar over here, shooting them off at random angles. Who knows what'll happen. Metal prep, trying to work that main arch. And got this surprise inspection. Alright, come on down, boy. Nope, not coming down. What do you think, Benedict? He's going down there. Oh no, he's not. So this is like 2 coats with no undercoat, no sidewall, chilling up here. Nice and strong because it's in the right geometry. Well supported. So I've got 1 piece of lath here, this one bending up, and I'm moving on to the next piece of lath. So I'm finally getting coverage on the big arch after starting in early May and kind of working my way around it here. And up here there's 2 cinder blocks and a tire to lower this one side because it was really tilted. And then there's a ladder over here pushing up that side, which is similar to the last one because the starting points aren't even, and so I gotta like bend the metal. So I'm starting with 1 batch with lots of fiber in it, and the idea is to get all of this covered and some of the sidewall as well. And especially with first batches, unless it's on like a vertical face, I almost always do it by hand, because you can kind of get into the cracks in between the metal a little better by hand. And I also want to get all the weight up on this corner first with the first mortar, because it'll also just be a weight to help push it down before it rocks into place, to make it all more even. By the way, these PVC gloves are available on Amazon in bulk for like $2.50 per glove, and you can get them fitted so you got the right size just for you, so they can get nice and tight. And these PVC gloves will last longer than any other kind of. Alright, that's bucket number 2. That's more buckets to go, and we'll check it all this stuff. So at the end of the day, Friday, I got those forms up, and got 2 batches over here. Fought some goats off for the high ground, and got the first batch on here, and then got a second batch reinforcing some of that rebar and getting this whole vertical wall here, which will help to tie them all together. And then I'll end up doing another cattle panel, kind of like a ramp, like that one, from the top of this one going up that way. But I have to push that one a little bit further first. But anyways, that's the end for this week. Got a lot of progress up here, and off to the races. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.